and welcome to the channel. Today we will be doing a bit of a silly tier list, a bit of a goofy odd tier list, and we'll be doing a which Marvel Rivals characters would stop and wait for you while you tied your shoe. That's right, you're out on a walk with the homies, you gotta stop and tie a shoe. Who's waiting? Who's continuing to walk? Who's looking back and saying, "Oh yeah, I'll wait with you"? Uh, Jumping right in, Adam Warlock. I feel like he would probably wait. He's not at the top, but he would probably stop and wait for you. He seems like a pretty cool dude. I feel like Black Panther. He might stop and wait for you, but I could also see him just continuing to walk. He's kind of. I feel like he could go either way. He's like, he's got places to be, but he seems like a kind dude. He'd probably stop. Black Widow, I feel like she's kind of a similar boat. Well, she is kind of the homie. I feel like if you're homies with her, she would 100% stop and wait for you. But if she doesn't super know you that well, she just wouldn't. So I'd give her like a A. Captain America, he's 100% stopping and waiting for you while you tie your shoe. That's the homie right there. He'd stop and wait. He'd probably even help you tie your shoe. Cloak and Dagger, why do I feel like they wouldn't really stop while you tied your shoe? Maybe they would. I don't really know Cloak and Dagger that well, Never really watched their show or read the comics. Indecisive, uncertain, give him a strong B tier. Doctor Strange, there's no way he's stopping and waiting for you to tie your shoe. If anything, he would do some sort of magic spell on your shoe to tie it for you, but he would not stop and wait for you to tie your shoe. He would either just continue walking or physically cast a spell to tie your shoe. He's not stopping and waiting for you while you tied your shoe. Groot, 100%. He's stopping and waiting for you while you tie your shoe. He may even give you a flower. Hawkeye, he's kind of the homie too. I put him in. He's kind of similar to Black Widow. If he's your homie like that, he's 100% stopping and waiting. Hela, absolutely not. She doesn't give a fuck. Hulk, depends on which Hulk. There's a bunch of iterations of Hulk, but regular Hulk, he's hulking out. He doesn't give a fuck about your shoe. Iron Fist, I feel like he probably wouldn't wait for you to tie your shoe. I don't really know him like that. Iron Man, he probably would not wait for you to tie your shoe. Honestly, he's got places to be. Jeff, he's waiting for you to tie your shoe for sure. Jeff is a homie. He's just a benevolent being. He'd probably eat your shoe, honestly, but he'd stop and wait for you. Loki, he's probably the one that untied your shoe, honestly. I feel like Loki's not waiting. Let me order these a little more. Loki, there's no way stopping and waiting for you to tie your shoe. Luna Snow, she seems pretty nice. She seems pretty cool. She'd probably... I really don't know Luna Snow like that. I'll put her in a strong A tier. Magic, I feel like she doesn't really give a fuck about you or your shoe. C tier. Magneto, if you were a mutant, he would stop and wait for you to tie your shoe. But, we're just regular folk, some mudbloods, if you will. So Magneto's not stopping and waiting for you to tie your shoe. Mantis, Mantis is kind of oblivious. She probably wouldn't even realize you're tying your shoe, but if she knew you were, I feel like she would probably stop and wait for you to tie your shoe. She's very nice. Moon Knight, he's not waiting for you to tie your shoe. There's maybe one iteration of Moon Knight where you'd stop and wait, but most Moon Knights, I feel like, aren't waiting. Namor's definitely, he ain't stopping and waiting for you to tie your shoe, bro. He doesn't go fuck. He doesn't even wear shoes. He's barefoot. Penny Parker, she seems pretty nice. I feel like, if anything, maybe even in the S tier, she'd stop and wait for you to tie your shoe. Maybe even, help a little. Psylocke, I don't really know her like that. I feel like probably not wait to tie her shoe, just from the vibe I'm getting. Maybe, around the Iron Man level. I really don't know Psylocke like that. Rocket Raccoon, he's probably not waiting for you to tie your shoe either, honestly. He might be the one that untied your shoe. Scarlet Witch, I could see it going either way. It kind of depends on the Scarlet. Sometimes she's like nice and cool. Sometimes she's kind of like, you know, destroy the whole world. Spider-Man, he would wait for you to tie your shoe. He'd probably get like, try to wait for you to tie your shoe and then see some like evildoers doing something and go out to save the day, but then like come back and you're still tying your shoe or something. He'd be torn. He'd be like, oh, I should wait for you to tie your shoe, but also I gotta go save this person. Might drop him down to the top of A tier for that, but he's got the vibe of he would wait for you to tie your shoe for sure. Squirrel Girl, she's 100% waiting. I'd put her even above Jeff and Cap. She's just like a benevolent being. Star-Lord, he might wait for you. Kind of depends on like how much of a homie you are with him. In the middle tier, like maybe he'd stop, wait for you to tie your shoe. Storm, I feel like similar boat. Like she's kind of got shit to do. Doesn't really give a fuck about your shoe. Honestly, she probably don't care too much about your shoe. Punisher, I feel like he's probably not waiting for you to tie your shoe at all. Thor, I think Thor would probably wait, but not like guaranteed. I'd give him a high A tier. Venom could go either way. Sometimes Venom is like kind and benevolent. Sometimes he's just evil and eats people. Give him a B tier, kind of swing either way. Bucky, if this is just like regular non-Russian brainwashed Bucky, he'd probably wait for you to tie your shoe. He seems like a good dude. Wolverine, he doesn't really give a fuck about you or your shoe. He ain't waiting. Mr. Fantastic, he's a pretty good dude. I feel like he would wait for you to tie your shoe for sure. Invisible Woman, she seems very cool, very nice. She would wait for you to tie your shoe. Human Torch, he's probably not waiting for you to tie your shoe at all. The Thing, I would see The Thing. He could really go either way. I feel like The Thing like might be a homie, but he also might just like, nah, The Thing's kind of a homie. He would wait. Emma Frost, I don't really know her like that, but I feel like she probably would not wait for you to tie your shoe. Ultron, definitely not waiting to tie your shoe. This is the which Marvel Rivals characters would stop and wait for you to tie your shoe tier list. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. Kind of a silly Saturday night video here. I ran out of footage. I haven't really enjoyed this new patch very much. I haven't really been gaming like that, so bit of an out-of-pocket video. Comment down below what you think. Who would stop and wait for you to tie your shoe? What would you change? What would you move? Do you think this is legit? It looks pretty good to me. I feel like Doctor Strange, maybe move him up a little bit. Yeah, this is looking pretty solid. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Comment down below what you think. Who would wait for you to tie your shoe? And yeah, see you on the next episode.